to Perry Little from Green River Gold, CCR, from Peter Bell, date May 2nd. 3 contract miners for hire. Perry, I wonder about finding people in Cornell to work on a crew, 5-person surface work, digging dirt, turning it through a sluice, and moving the concentrate to UCSC mining facility underground where they have a gravity table, or off-site, wherever that is, to concentrate gold out of the material that we get out of the sluice mat at surface. So 2-stage processing, HCC and Omanika Mining do the final processing. First work by contract workers who are digging dirt, $500 a day, 5-person crew. Those are the numbers I keep repeating. They are in a useful benchmark. They don't necessarily have to be in all cash, you know. If you can find a really bullish group of people who can work for less than that in local Cornell, it can be paid also in shares, or even in addition, you know, you can pay them more, right? Pay them the potential to pay people in equity, and the equity itself could then be gold. So, right, it's a special purpose vehicle company to capitalize as a gamble, and money you raise, you put into hiring a placer crew to work, non-mechanized program. You need some ground that's good enough to get bet on, and to start with, you know, I want to do the Omanika mining wing dam surface setting. You know, I think they have ground that a private company should pay to work and split the gold with Omanika. It's maybe unreasonable to do that, but I think it's financeable. I think it's a realistic consideration for speculative overlay side bet on Omanika. You know, markets are nothing if not all about side bets. You know, so it's a high risk, you know, capital base for that kind of program. But you know, you think about how far 50 grand would go, hiring 5 guys, $500 a day, 20 days, you know, plus. So I wonder about putting up a help wanted sign, you know, at the store, on the website, or in the building when it opens again, or just talking to you, Perry, about people that you know who could do the work on a contract basis, right? It's basically just testing program for commercial operation, as if you were going to go mine there, do testing program with the hypothesis that it's going to turn a profit. Who's going to gamble on that? No idea. Me, probably some other people. Give them a chance to. And Omanika potentially pay for it itself too. You know, they haven't financed that amount of money yet, but at some point they might. And if not them, somebody else with some other ground. You know, is there placer ground up there that would pay on a contract miner basis? I have no idea. I would love to find out. And the way to find out is to work ground, and starting with stuff, you know, that has historical rich character. You know, if you start with auriferous creeks, right? If you know there's parts of creeks that pay historically, go back there and work them again, right? If they were auriferous in the past, they might still be today. Go and have a look. And surface work is part of that. So the testing program could prove profitable. It's unlikely, but it could happen. So you want to give it a chance to see. And be really bullish about it and do it on a risk capital basis. outside of, the public company. It's kind of ludicrous to think about doing that. But maybe the company that does that, arranges those contractors and supervises them, maybe that company is worth something, more than what went into it on the other side of a successful surface campaign that turns a profit. However modest, you don't need to be producing a massive amount of net gold, but if there's any amount of gold where you can do break-even rates, if you can pass a break-even in terms of putting in cash and getting out payable gold, right? And doing that on a entirely isolated basis, generally economically prohibitive. In the case of, Omanika or other situations where you have a commercial operator working, you can do service work that you plug into another processing circuit to save on steps, final gravity separation, right? Do the hard work at surface, digging, highbanker by hand on select high grade areas that you suspect. So that's the question. Can I find people to work that? And is $500 a day like a realistic number to start talking about for like 8 hours of work or digging on areas mapped out on Omanika's placer claims? Right? Like, can we get guys who can get themselves out Highway 26, drive their truck out, and then load up the dirt bike and hit the trail, make a new trail out to specific GPS locations, and just see what's possible out there. Set up operation. Crew of 5 guys who work a highbanker for 8 hours a day, 12 hours a day, 20 days. Maybe good. Get 2 crews. I don't know what's economic or not, but some cash costs and maybe some share comp and some payable gold to them, and doing it in conjunction with Omanika is the thing again that I want to do. See if I can hire a crew of people. It means putting up the money myself, starting a company myself. Crazy. Talked to a friend who said he'll come up and talking about his RV, using his family's RV to get up there and stay. 3 rooms in the RV. Start with a crew of 3 people, him and I and another person. Go up there, do some work on the Omanika's ground on a in-kind basis, earning in some way. Like, what? We do it on our own dime. We incur the expense, like HCC Mining is doing on the Omanika ground. That's a really distinct feature. The ground was so rich that the private mining contractor, is willing to pay all the costs up front and execute the program and carry the public company, right? If it was that good underground, maybe it's that good at surface. So let's do a trial campaign and see. And there's all kinds of other stuff that comes along with that, but I would put money on the line to hire people to go out there and dig dirt with highbankers. Like, if you knew of placer guys who could work with us too, like if Maxime, my friend, and I and another person come up, there's 3 of us, can you get 1 or 2 others or 5, more, come out and work with us, right? Like, if we have permission of Omanika to work on their ground, then I would be willing to do that, and the multiplier effect of hiring guys to come do that with me and my buddy and another guy. I don't know what the total budget is for that, but it's possible that it's immediately profitable in some sense. Really? I don't know if that's quite true. Obviously going to require some initial costs, but potentially profitable, potentially profitable overall. And if it is, then it's probably worthwhile, right? And potential to do it on an ongoing basis, and if not at the Wing Dam, Omanika, any number of other places, that would be able to sustainably support placer mining, non-mechanized surface work. How many places would it be possible to have a profitable, non-mechanized placer mining gig going? How many crews could capitalize themselves to get going and do that work program and carry carry some parent company who own those ground, right? Like, is that a normal arrangement? Is it worthwhile to try and do that at Omanika? I think so. I think there's probably other places that it's a worthwhile thing to do with a public company. Pretty much any spot. Pretty much any time there's a profitable placer operation, I want to, let's get a piece of it. Let's go. The public markets, should grow into that. The fact that they don't have any representation of that kind of gold source in gold, Canadian production for public markets. I think that's strange. How much placer gold is produced per year in Canada? How much is attributable to public companies? Why? Contract miners. Is that a growing job opportunity in Cornell? Right? It should be. I want to put up money for that. Perry. And if they know what they're doing and they're using proper equipment, doing it safely, let's go. What's the legal requirements of funding that work? Is there any way that, find people you can give equity in the company, that's doing this work? That's, I don't know. Just talk of paying people in gold and stuff, right? One of the things to point out is if you just put dirt through a highbanker and you wash out the sluice moss, you will not have refined ready gold, right? So in the arrangement I'm talking about, you would do that work and then you take the concentrate and you give it to HCC Mining, who has a gravity table underground or at surface somewhere at the Wing Dam, where they are doing gravity separation of what they hope to be high grade hay from the creek bed at Lightning Creek underground with pretty cool mine engineering methods. So because your placer mining crew doesn't have their own gravity table, it's a little harder for them to steal the gold. If there are nuggets, it's possible that they will easily be spotted and stolen by workers, like the contract guys you get. But if you have supervising people too, I don't know, you've told me, Perry, that it's not possible, and I believe you. But if the guys doing the surface work only ever wash out the sluice mats and can't, separate the gold from the fine black sand or whatever other dirt and rock is still there, right? Stuff that comes off a sluice mat isn't just gold. It needs to be panned and worked down to a gold, just gold. And HCC Mining has that equipment underground. So we're not going to buy that equipment. We're just going to do the surface sluice work and then wash the moss and then take the buckets to the gravity table at Omanika Mining's wing dam being operated by HCC Mining, right? So we don't have the surface crew touching pure gold unless it's big nuggets. So they could steal those, but most of the gold potentially finer gold. Well, I know it's not fine gold at this alluvial setting, but there you go, maybe. But that's at the pay bed, the creek gutter, the gutter of Lightning Creek. At surface, what are you likely to get? Probably not nuggets at present. Maybe fine gold. You're more likely to get fine gold, maybe from like bits of, erosional deposition from up in the hills. Some of the benches are eroding over time and the gold is washing down. It's likely to be a little more fine than the really chunky quartz stuff that you get at the Gutter Creek. But the reason it's so quartz chunky is because you're at the bedrock interface. And so when you go underground and you selectively mine the gutter, you're doing almost like narrow vein mining methods on, transposed kind of vein material. And so you chase it back too as well to the source, and maybe you show the same mineralogy below the creek bed on their ground. Bingo, that helps a lot. And it's a big drilling program to do that. Maybe they'll do some underground drilling work. I hope so. At least for grade control, right? Like, how do they even do that underground work? I have no idea. Omanique has provided little to no information about that, so, and no production guidance, so we don't know what's coming. I think it's worthwhile to talk about what could be found at surface. If you found a nugget or two at surface, would that spark Omanique to, do more of that kind of work? I think it would, and I think good people's key part of that. So my first instinct, I've been talking about this for a while, my first instinct was to talk to the outfitter in Cornell about finding good people. So I think that's you, very little. Talked to Andrew Davison about it too, and he said, talk to Green River. And he's not wrong. So we'll give it a shot. Other ways too, where you get the money for it. There's a lot of questions come along with it. But I think we should, the marketability, of a financial product based on placer mining is so different than the payoff of an exploration company, right? If you're an explorer, you're looking for $1 billion of metal you can sell for $100 million or something. Have a payday. Spend $10 million finding something that you sell for $200. That would be really good luck, right? Most of the times you spend $20 million and you find nothing, or more. Right? A lot of exploration companies never have a transaction. It's kind of just a deep hole of accumulated deficit. Kind of unbelievable business model. Got to wonder who's keeping it alive and why. But the payoff associated with placer mining is totally different, because the payoff is so immediate and it's once and done. How much comes out of this campaign of work, right? And plugging in a surface sluice box program that gives gold concentrate to the HCC underground crew, to put through their gravity table, refine it, right? That's a nice little add-on for the Omanique operation. It's like good use of funds, good use of equipment, right? And potentially scalable, right? Who's to say you have 5 crews of 5 guys making $500 a day? if each one of those crews is profitable, right? Like, that's the question, is can we find placer mining operations that are profitable, and can we get them into public companies, right? Like, if it's profitable, you can pay the contract, like the labor, the workers, the crew, and then it's a question of who owns it. And the workers should own it, some of it, and other people should own other parts, you know, like it should, normal company stuff. And the potential for me to do that on a $50,000 basis or whatever, you know what I mean? Like, oh yeah, just hire in 5 guys for 20 days, give it a shot, see what happens, you know. And if the only thing they produced was washed sluice mats, right, it wouldn't be gold really that they could steal, unless again there was nuggets, in which case yeah, they could probably spot them by their eye, take them, you know, if they wanted to. But a lot of the gold potentially, again, I'll say it again, is unknown. What kinds of gold you'd find at surface doing work by hand. Presumably you'd find something. So give it a shot, see what happens. Do that on a risk capital basis, right, where in return for the cash you put up, you get some amount of gold flakes, gold nuggets, something like that, right? You get that on a joint basis with Omanika Mining, because you're doing it on their ground. And the question, why would you pay to do it on their ground? The answer is because it's a historically auriferous creek, and it's worth heavy duty attention. Potential to demonstrate that it's profitable, you know, particularly in a way where you plug into the other ongoing production activities at Wingdam, that, you know, taking that cost, changing that cost, you know, by plugging into the ongoing operation elsewhere, affects the economic profile of doing contract workers digging dirt at surface to qualify as non-mechanized placer mining ground that Omanika owns. Again, have reason to believe it's rich ground. One way to find out, that's by working it, doing it on a contract basis where you pay the returns in gold to the shares. You know, that's a gamble, right, that you could float on Howe Street, right? Like a public company needs a certain amount of exploration spending per year, but in addition to that, they can do what they want, and this is eligible spending for a pubco to raise 50 grand to put towards a contract mining program. It's high confidence that you're not going to be able to steal all the gold, because contract mining only produces, you know, the concentrate from a sluice mat. You still need to take that through gravity table, which HCC mining does, and gives them more control over final gold production. So that's something I would like to try. So finding people in Cornell who can do that and mobilize themselves there, and to talk to you about using your equipment and the, you know, the range of products available and the cost and what arrangements are reasonable. Really bullish setup, you know, really big opportunity to do a lot of high return gold investing, high risk too. So